you know, I sent my car, everything perfectly, had everything perfectly dialed in, paint, everything's great, and the car gets there and there's a darn check engine light. I'm hoping it was just from transit or maybe one of the O2 sensors. I don't know what it is, but everything was great. And this is my ultimate fear, that I get there and they're like, ah, we don't want this thing, you're out of luck. So anyway, I'm headed to Orlando Airport. I dropped Ryan off at school, and it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. My flight's at 11:35, so I'm gonna vlog this trip, which is uncharacteristic for me. So I'm gonna do this a little differently, and then I'm gonna vlog, and I'm going to do some longer format stuff while I'm at Esoteric. So anyway, I'm on my way there. Some of you will probably find this funny or relate to this. You know, in packing all my stuff, it's like this process I go through, especially since I have to take all my camera gear. I have to pack everything specifically. And so essentially what I do is I lay everything out. So I have all my camera gear, which is one process, and then I have all of my clothes. And so as I'm packing my clothes, I find myself sorting through and getting rid of some stuff and adjusting my hangers, and it ends up turning into a 2.5 hour process of me dialing everything in. I started reorganizing my socks, you know, counting, making sure I have even pairs. And then all the camera equipment, I went through and reorganized the entire, you know, my entire array of camera equipment. Started setting out stuff that I don't need anymore that I'm going to sell, and working on, you know, wiring. And so I thought I'd make that quick point. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to you know, I make a giant list, and then I kind of work through the list, and as I'm working through the list, I'm adjusting it. And you know, this is the same thing I would do if I was organizing a cabinet. You know, I'd take everything out, I'd put it in, I'd stare at it, I'd walk away, go get a drink, I'd come back, pull everything back out, and then just keep kind of working through the, you know, working through all the equipment until I get down to, you know, to the stuff that I actually want to take with me, while reorganizing everything that's already been organized probably 10 times. Anyway, I thought I'd share that story with you as it occurred to me while I'm, you know, driving here. Doing this vlog thing always helps me think through things, put things into perspective. You know, probably because I have to figure out what the heck I'm going to say. But man, I'm thinking about it. I'm driving up to Terminal B here at Orlando Airport in my Raptor that's paid off, that I'm gonna give to my wife because I got the new Raptor coming, and I'm going to park in, you know, right up front in the whatever the $20 a day parking, and get on a first class flight to Delta and pick up my GT3 RS. I mean, I hope you young guys, you see me. I'm pretty stoic. I don't dance around or jump around, and you know, and you know, there's probably a tone of ungratefulness in just the way I speak. I mean, that's just my personality. But man, it's just to put that into perspective. I mean, it's so, I could never imagined any of this. So super grateful. I hope this works out. But you know, if it doesn't, I need to just have the attitude that if for some reason this doesn't work out and I have to ship my car back, oh no, I'm stuck with a 2014 GT3 that I love. So anyway, I'm about to get out of the car, and I'll share with you where I parked this thing. I'll probably drive around for 10 minutes to try to find the right spot. It's part of the reason why, you know, I'm here 2 hours and 35 minutes, or no, 2 hours and 5 minutes early. So hopefully I can get there on the plane in time. You know, I always find that I'd rather be here super early and not have to think about it than to stress out about it. E-Pass is like the greatest thing ever. I'm always nervous that I'm gonna fit. There's 7-foot clearance. I don't know what the exact height of this truck is, but man, it looks so close. Shoot. But I've been in here like 2 or 3 times with this truck, so I think I'm okay. Let me skip the first level. It'd be nice to leave the humidity for a little while. For some reason, we're at like massive maximum humidity. Second level is my favorite spot to park. If I can find an end spot with extra space. Dang it, that ceiling looks close. Always amazes me how many people are willing to pay for this. Well, I literally did drive around for 10 minutes. This is the best spot I can get. Sucks. Anyway, I'm here. Go do my thing. Darn story of obsession. I swear to you, I start walking down the road and I have to come back. I'm like, I need to pull it up another 12 inches. I'm sure you guys can relate. So Mac and Chrissy are here to give me that. There's a little bit of a scare, but deal is done.
All worked out.
So, well, once I get my financing, once I sign that papers and I have the keys, then I'll believe it. So this is supposed to be an enjoyable thing where you buy a $220,000 car and you're supposed to be excited. Well, you know, I don't do things conventionally. Things are tougher for me, but it makes it that much more enjoyable once you get it. So this dude had the car for like, what, a year and didn't drive it?
Yeah, so he ordered another GT3, the new 991.2.
Gotcha. I'm assuming he has a bunch of cars.
He does. He's got a new NSX. He's got Ferrari. He's got all kinds of stuff. He's got
so
Lamborghini Huracan. So this was just a toy for him.
Right.
The guy is probably, I'd have to ask Max, 60.
The perfect guy you want owning the car before you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know that he even ever drove it. I mean, I know he didn't do much in it. So
yeah, I can't see a rock chip on the thing, so I'm gonna have to take.
You're taking it up there, but you shouldn't really.
I'm gonna have to take some. I'm gonna take some back roads.
Other than to protect it and everything. Grab all this stuff.
Well, you know me. We're gonna dial this thing in. It's gonna be 100+ hours of work into this too. We're gonna wrap every square inch of this with the state-of-the-art clear film. We have gloss meters, depth gauges. It's gonna be perfection. It's gonna be something special.
How are you gonna prep it? I know you said you were gonna prep it to take it up there. Or?
I'm not going. I decided I'm just gonna try to take back roads.
Okay.
I mean, it's survived 700 miles.
Right.
I mean, as long as I don't tailgate a 18-wheeler. No. Although the way my luck's been going the last couple of days.
Yeah. Now, if you go back roads, I wouldn't think. I would think you'd be pretty safe.
Well, I'm gonna camera up on the car and and share the
the tour.
Yeah, share get my anxiety out. I might need you to drive me to Columbus. Is that all right?
Yeah. Obviously, I know you know this car. It hasn't changed that much since the one you have. I mean,
same thing.
We compare the phone and everything. I didn't activate the satellite radio yet, just because I want to make sure everything was good to go. But
yeah, that was the one disappointment. It's got the wart. So sad.
Yeah.
So sad. Cool. Well, let's go get some paperwork done.
Okay. And knowing this guy, I can't imagine he even this.
Yeah.
I mean, this should be everything.
Everything's dialed. Yeah, shoot, he kept all the things that I throw away, like the
reference guide. Here's the PC. I mean, you know all this from your.
Yep, same thing. Yeah.
Really changed, but everything should be in here.
I'll be yanking it all out anyway. I'm so pumped I get my Dyne Audio back. All right, so we're working through processing paperwork. You know, if you haven't bought a car before, in general, you got to provide your insurance card, which I forgot, so we had to print that off. You have to provide your license. They've already pre-run my credit, so hopefully everything's good for the the transaction here. Max lining up all the details there. So I'll sign a bunch of paperwork and then we'll exchange keys and I'll take the car. But the best news of all is that they don't want my aftermarket stereo stuff. To them, it's garbage. To me, it's like darn gold. And so we came to the agreement that hey, if I'll pay the labor to have it taken out, that they'll send it to me. They'll ship it back to me, which is awesome. So I'm pumped about that. Anyway, we're gonna work through paperwork and I'll come back to you guys when I get in the car. I'm gonna mic up and set up all the cameras and try to figure out a back road destination to Columbus. So my 9K flat 6 tag is gonna have to disappear because this doesn't redline at 9,000, only redlines at 8,800. So I'm gonna have to get a new tag. All right, surprisingly, my butt is not puckering after writing, signing over my life for, this is as much as my first house in a car. But I like to think of it as, I sold my GT350. I'm probably going to sell my S2000, sell my GT3. So that's how I'm justifying this.
It's time for a new one.
Yeah, right. So CPO is from the date it was originally put in service. Is that the way Porsche CPO works?
It's you get your 4-year 50. That goes with the car, and then the CPO will kick in after the 4th year, or 50,000 miles, whichever would come first. and give you an additional 2 more years or another 50,000 more miles, not to exceed 100,000 miles.
So it's not really 6 years, 100,000. It's
definitely 6 years.
Okay.
If the car had 50,000 miles on it now, then you would get it to 100,000 miles. But in this instance, it's at 100.
Right.
You're going to get it to 6 years or 50,713 miles, whichever would come first.
Say that one more time. I'm confused.
You get it.
So I know this. So I get the 6 years.
Yes.
But what's the mile? So it's an additional 50,000 miles.
Additional 50,000 more miles and 2 more years from the
Gotcha.
original
So
service
it's
date.
6 years, 100.
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha. Well then, okay, that's not that complicated. I'm just an idiot. Sorry, I had a rough day. Oh Lord, I made it. Zach and Dan are here to chauffeur me around. Gosh, I'm so pumped. All right, which way am I going?
You go around.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to dial in my procedure for getting my fat rear end in the seat without messing them up. Oh, it smells like a new Porsche. See, white gauges. I know some of you guys love those things, but if I had a choice, it would not be white. This is like a darn dream come true. I'm coming here to Esoteric. We're gonna geek out for a week straight. How awesome is that? I gotta remember that the hips are wider. This car needs to make more noise. It's too quiet. All kinds of craziness going on in here.
Put your foot down.
You guys realize this is better than like getting the car at home, because I'm here and we get to do what we're about to do to this thing. Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.